Hello, and I'm back in Seattle, a place known for its stunning views, lots of coffee, and of course, lots of fun activities. And my favourite activity to do whilst I'm here is to go fabric shopping. That's right, I'm here to check out more fabric shops here in Seattle. So stick around to see if I manage to get home without exceeding my baggage allowance once again. And welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate and this is Ripper Seams. So yes, I'm in somewhere totally new. I'm not even in the UK. I'm here in Seattle in the state of Washington in the United States. One of my favorite places to visit. I come here pretty much every year as a result of work, and I've had a pretty intense round of meetings this week, but also heaps and heaps of fun. But the work section of my trip is now complete, which means I have some me time, and of course I'm going to spend that me time fabric shopping. So I have today and tomorrow to get out and about in and around Seattle to find whatever fabric shops I can. So I'm going to be visiting some of my favorite fabric stores from last year and also exploring a new one as well. And one I really wanted to get to last year, but of course it was in a totally different direction to everywhere else. I wasn't able to get there. I didn't have enough time, but this time I'm not missing it. I am going to Pacific Fabrics down in the SoDo area of Seattle. So my plan today is to take a walk up to Capitol Hill and visit Stitches, which was ultimately my favorite store from last year, and then I'm going to make my way down to SoDo to Pacific Fabrics and see what is happening down there. I'm quite excited about that. So that's my plan for today, and to do that I am going to be wearing my newest collection to my wardrobe, and that is this Hope dress, which is a style arc pattern. This is one I managed to sneak in a couple of days before I made my way here to Seattle. It was definitely one of those rush makes, but I absolutely love it, and it's made out of this beautiful viscose chalet, which is a lot lighter, a lot floatier than my previous Hope dress, and yeah, I've had so many compliments about it. It is a lovely sunny day outside, so I'll probably just be wearing this, but I do have a little jacket to throw over my shoulders if it does happen to get more traditional Seattle weather coming in. But I also have my bestie bag. Again, I haven't shown you this. I made a bestie bag out of this beautiful See What It Sticks fabric. It is a canvas, and I've been rocking this bag all week with all my work stuff. It's been fitting my laptop in there and a few other essentials to get me to the office. I've had so many compliments on it, but yeah, this is my bestie bag. I absolutely love it. It's fantastic, and it's going to get me around today and tomorrow and get up to some fabric shopping adventures. So let's go see what we can find. About walking up to Capitol Hill is it's actually on a hill and it's a stinking hot day. I'm a bit exhausted. I think I've got the worst of it over, but yeah, hopefully get there first. I'm gonna have a drink, rest. Not as in shape as I would like to be, but yeah, let's get going at the fabric store soon. My first stop of the day, and honestly a must visit for any sewist coming to Seattle, is Stitches in the heart of Capitol Hill. This independent shop is a real gem full of inspiration and personality. Whether you're into dressmaking, quilting or crafting of any kind, they've got you covered. What I really love about Stitches is the variety. There's a little bit of everything here. Quilting cottons, canvas, jerseys, linen, and even some really fun specialty fabrics that you don't see everywhere. Their haberdashery section is super well stocked, and there's a cozy selection of wool, and the staff, well, they're just lovely. Warm, knowledgeable, and clearly passionate about what they do. It's one of those places that makes you want to start a new project the minute you walk in. So it's always a pleasure visiting Stitches, and because you don't have to go too far out of the city centre to get there, it will always have a place on my itinerary when I visit Seattle. After Stitches, I trotted down the road to the Starbucks Reserve Roastery. Now, I will say there is much better coffee from the small independent coffee shops in town, which I prefer, but the Roastery is quite the spectacle and a fun place to visit. The interior is amazing, and they do some fancy drinks in here. But my main reason for coming is the food. Sweet and savoury, I do recommend. Once fed and watered, I grabbed an Uber, not a school bus, down to SoDo to check out Pacific Fabrics. So this was my first visit to Pacific Fabrics in the Sodo neighborhood of Seattle. And wow, what an absolute treasure trove. With roots going back to the early 20th century, Pacific Fabrics has been a beloved staple in the Seattle sewing community for decades apparently. Stepping inside, I was immediately impressed by the sheer volume of fabric. Wall-to-wall quilting cottons lining the shelves like a rainbow. But what really caught my eye were the rondelles in the center of the store. Beautifully created displays arranged by color story and theme, they made it so easy to appreciate the prints and even better to touch and feel the quality of the fabric. This place was truly a quilter's paradise. There were also plenty of dressmaking options. Soft cottons and linens in the center, floaty rayons and jerseys along the sides, and even a lovely wool section heading towards the back. Add in a well-stocked haberdashery, a bustling crowd of fellow makers, and genuinely friendly, helpful staff. I could have spent the whole entire day here. If you get the chance, definitely visit Pacific Fabrics. So here we are back in my hotel room. It is the very next day, and yeah, I had an awesome adventure yesterday going to those two fabric stores I mentioned. Wow, that was a great day out. So I thought I'd take a break now before I get stuck into my rest of the day to show you what I got at those two locations. So let's take a look at stitches first. Yes, I definitely bought fabric, so let's take a look at those first. Yep, we've got a nice pile here. So I tend to find that the fabric stores I have been visiting very much focus on cotton and natural materials, which is great. Not so much into the fashion fabric. So I think there's obviously a lot of quilting and crafts going on with the cotton fabrics. Dressmaking fabrics per se aren't really as predominant in these shops. However, I did find some really, really lovely fun viscose yesterday, or rayon as I would say, and this is actually a Italian dead stock, designer dead stock, and look at this. Anyone who knows me knows I love a good retro print, and check out this stripy fabric here. Again, we've got some lovely chevrons and some real retro colors. There's some oranges in there, pinks and burgundies. This is a really, really fun fabric. And I've got just over 2 yards of this. I did actually take what was left on the bolt, and I think it's about 2.2 yards, because again, I have to buy things in yards rather than meters. So I think this is going to be another lovely blouse of some sort. Obviously with this lovely retro design here, the pinks are just a nice pop of pink with this. I think it is a black background on there, but like the pinks with the oranges and blue, I'm like, this is like proper retro. So I absolutely love this, and it's a really nice thick viscose, still very, very flowy, but this is a good quality fabric. Funny that it's Italian dead stock and I get it here in Seattle, but yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Now this one was very much a buy on a whim purchase because I didn't really have an idea what I wanted to make with it, but I absolutely loved it, so that had to come home with me. Everything else though, I have a very specific purpose for. So this next fabric I bought specifically for bag making because it is a canvas. I saw it and I sat there going, I could do definitely another bestie bag, or maybe something else that is related to sewing, because it is this inch ruler of fabric here. You can see it here with all those measurements on there. It is a lovely, nice, sturdy cotton canvas. So this is going to be perfect for sewing another bestie bag or anything else that takes my fancy in that bag making realm. I would like to explore that more because that was a lot of fun. Now, because bag making doesn't really take up too much fabric, I only got 1.5 yards of this one. So definitely enough to make a large bestie bag, or if I want to use it for something else, I'll probably have some scraps left over to use for other items as well. So anyway, there we go. I got some lovely cotton canvas here with this measuring tape print on there. So yeah, this is a really, really lovely special fabric. Because it's in inches, it's going to remind me of the States. A nice souvenir of America, definitely. A bit different than maybe a fridge magnet. Now, this next one I bought without a specific pattern in mind, but I would like to have a really nice detailed blouse with a lot of ruching, a lot of detail and so on. And it is this beautiful fabric here from Diamond Textiles, their Nico range, and it is this 100% cotton with this lovely embroidery on there. This one in particular I liked because it was this nice chocolate brown. I tend to suit brown myself, but it's kind of like this really nice cozy homesteady fabric, and because it's 100% cotton, it's just going to be really breathable, a really nice shirt for summer or something like that. So looking for a really nice detailed blouse going on, but I've got 3 yards of it here, so I should definitely be fine with getting a blouse. Now, last time I went to Stitches Fabric, I actually bought something very similar, more in a navy navy blue type colorway, and I only got 2 yards of it last time. I really, really love these fabrics. I think they feel really good quality. They weren't overly expensive either, which is great. I just like the rusticness of them. It's a really, really good quality fabric and very Japanese style. So I absolutely love this. This is going to go in my collection. I'll find something for it. And yeah, 3 yards of this beautiful chocolate brown fabric. Now finally, I've been looking for some retro kitschy fabric to make a patina blouse. Yeah, I don't know why it had to be that particular category of fabric, but I've been doing that. I found some fabric online in the UK. Unfortunately, they didn't have enough for me to make a patina blouse, so I was a bit brokenhearted, but stitches came through. It's not the same fabric, but it's in a similar vibe. And yeah, it is. There's, again, it's a Japanese cotton print fabric, but these little Bambi fawns with little animals. It has a light duck egg blue polka dot background on there, but I thought this was absolutely delightful. For some reason, I want a patina blouse made out of this. It's super cute. I think what's particularly drawn me to this fabric is I had a little vase, which as a kid, I don't know where it came from, but it was a little deer, almost identical to this one here, and it was sitting down and it had some birds and stuff with it, but in its back it was hollow, so you could put flowers in it. And I loved this vase so much. So for some reason, this particular type of deer print has a lot of nostalgia for me. So I thought that because this is almost near identical to that, I would get this fabric and I'll make myself a patina blouse out of it. So watch this space with this one. So yeah, those were my fabrics there. I could definitely have purchased more. I just have to be careful of my baggage allowance, because I did have to pay for excess baggage last time I came to Seattle because of my trip to Joann's. But now I was quite reserved. But I think what I'm doing is, last time I came, I bought a lot more fabric, but I bought smaller quantities of that. I've changed my thinking this time because I just found that sometimes buying smaller quantities, it's harder to pick stuff to make. So I've gone for bigger quantities this time to make sure that it's a lot more accessible for me to say, oh yes, I'll make that dress or that blouse or that pair of pants and so on. Now, those are the fabrics. They also had a nice selection of iron-on patches as well. So I got some of those. Now, I thought if I do make a bag of some sort out of that measuring tape fabric, then I thought I would put this patch on it. It says blood, sweat and shears on it. I thought that would go quite nicely somewhere on that bag, even on the strap or something. So there you go, I've got that particular one there. I of course couldn't go past one that had a seam ripper on it. So here we go, never give up on there, a lovely seam ripper. Very pretty flowers, so very subtle, quite like that one. And then of course, can't really go past this one as well, a lovely big vintage sewing machine. So I've got some iron-on patches for some fun projects coming up. We'll see how we get on with those, but that was my trip to Stitches Seattle. Just had an absolute delightful time there. There were some lovely jerseys I was very tempted to pick up as well. Obviously some lovely Ruby Star Society fabrics as well, so tempted to get. Always lovely to feel those fabrics in person and also see those lovely prints close up. Oh yeah, and some fashion fabrics in there. There was a beautiful burnt out silk. It was like a silk background with almost like a velour type print on the front of it. Really gorgeous fabric. I was so tempted, but at the same time I didn't know what to make out of it, so I thought I'd leave it there for some other lucky person to pick that one up going forward. I then jumped into an Uber because I had to head down to a different part of Seattle. Not really the walking type of journey, so I jumped into an Uber and I went down to Pacific Fabrics. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Pacific Fabrics was on my agenda last time I was here. It was just because it was in a different direction. I just couldn't get to it. So this time I made it, and man, I wish I'd come last time. That store was amazing. It was so big. It was so big, and the layout was stunning. I was absolutely blown away when I walked into that main kind of hall that they've got there. Was it called? Do I call it a hall? Just the main shopping area. Obviously, they've got fabrics running around the walls there. Lots and lots of quilting cottons. But what I loved were these little rondelles of fabric as well, will all come out so you could really see those prints. Nothing was really hidden there. It was a really great shopping experience. The only drawback of that was there was so much choice, and when you're not going in for a very specific project, it could be very overwhelming. But yeah, that didn't bother me too much. I just had a really, really fun time walking around seeing all those beautiful, beautiful fabrics. Again, if you are a quilter, this is an absolute quilter's dream. So many things were also organized by color as well. So if you're looking to pick up particular color stories for your quilts, this was definitely a place to go to. Seattle, you are absolutely spoiled having stalls like this available to you. So I had a good look around. I was very, very tempted by a lot of the quilting cottons there. And I think if I was a little step closer to one of my quilting projects I've got on my Make 9 list for this year, I definitely probably would have looked to have picked up some fabric from there. However, I had a look around. They do have some dressmaking fabrics there, some fashion fabrics. I was looking for some jerseys. They did have some there. It was mainly plain colored jerseys, so I kind of left that behind. There was a small selection of viscose there. Some of them very beautiful and very tempting. I did actually pick up one. But yeah, I just had a really fun time walking around. It was very spacious. They had a great remnants rack, lots of haberdashery and yarn there as well. Just a beautiful, well laid out store, heaps of staff to help you as well. And again, a store that was absolutely thriving, lots of customers in there, which was always great to see. So yeah, definitely a great find. And if and when I come back to Seattle, I will definitely be making another trip down there as well. So I'm gonna have my regular stores to visit when I come here next time. So what did I end up getting? Well, like I said, you were very well catered if you're a quilter. Lots of beautiful cottons, prints in there. So I did find some viscose. So let me show you this viscose. This is a beautiful kind of pumpkin colored viscose. Again, it's quite a nice weight to it. It's not like a flimsy viscose that you sometimes get, but this is this beautiful floral viscose fabric, and I'm going to make a Marnie blouse out of it. So I have got 3 yards of this beautiful orange fabric here. It's got a beautiful hit of pink and yellow and white flowers on here, which is scattered around. It's not too much of an obvious repeating print. So I had in mind that I would really like to make a Marnie blouse. So again, another blouse. It's got a lot more detail. It's got all those pin tucks and stuff going on. And I thought I would like to make it out of this. So I have got 3 yards of this fabric, and it is a really lovely drapey yet solid kind of viscose chalet that's going on there, or rayon chalet. So this is my first fabric that I got from Pacific Fabrics. Very happy to have found this. And then I found some of their canvas fabric, and this looks like it's a new release from Cloud 9. But I saw this, and similar vein to the measuring tape fabric, I'm interested in making more bags. This one, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Look at these guys. Now these are seagulls with this lovely retro flower print on there with them. But this, how cute is this? It's part of the Cloud 9 Ocean Motion range. I think it's just dropped, so there's other kind of prints that they've got that are all nautical kind of themed, but this one was so cute with the seagulls. It's got a black base to it with these grey and a bit of hit of orange in there. It's just a really, really lovely solid weight canvas, good quality. I will probably most definitely make a bestie bag out of this one, which is why I'll probably make a different bag out of that measuring tape one, because I bought that first. I've got this one now. This is bestie bag. So you know what? Those were the 2 fabrics that I got from Pacific Fabrics. Trust me, I could have bought heaps more, but because I was trying to be very purposeful about what I wanted to buy and make, that's what I ended up getting. Now, there's some other bits and pieces hanging around the tills like they do that just caught my attention. So I got some things from Sarah Hart's, got a couple of stickers. Good things take time. I know that is actually one of their labels that they do, but I've got a sticker to put on my sewing machine, as I do the maker sticker as well. So I've got those. Sewing is my superpower. Another cloth patch. I'm gonna have to make something that has a lot of cloth patches clearly, but I've got this one here. And then a little sewing machine charm. Little sewing machine charm, really, really cute. Don't really get to see these in person very often in the UK. So yeah, very tempted to pick this up when you see them actually in person. Oh, and I got 2 patterns. Like I mentioned, for my Make 9 this year, I am looking to do my very first quilt top. Now I do actually have the pattern assigned for that, and I'm just sorting out my fabrics as we go. But this one caught my eye because the quilts that kind of interest me are kind of more modern looking designs, and this particular one was just perfect. So this is the Larkspur quilt pattern here. I just thought this was lovely and subtle. It only really takes 4 colors in total, and I just thought, yep, this is me. I could definitely have a go at doing this one. Now the quilt pattern that I have actually decided on to do first is pretty straightforward. It is a scraps quilt, very simple cutting, but still very effective, and it's going to look amazing. This one here is a bit more advanced. So this does actually mean that you have to make blocks and you have to cut certain sizes out. So this is next level up. So if I'm successful with my other quilt top, which I fingers crossed I will be, I don't see how I can stuff that one up. This is going to be my next project after that, because I think this is beautiful, and I think the fact that there's such a simple color range in there, yeah, really, really nice. So Larkspur quilt, this is actually by, who's this by? Pen and Paper Patterns. So lovely instructions here. I've already had a look through and can't wait to give this a go, probably next year, but I've got this ready to go. And I found something in physical person which I was going to buy online, and yep, it is the Jelly Roll Rug 2 pattern. I'm quite fascinated by these Jelly Roll rugs. I think they could be a lot of fun. I have a need for small rugs in my life, particularly in my sewing room at the moment. I've got a lot of bare floors, and having a few little rugs scattered around would be really handy, particularly so if I made them myself. So I have picked up this pattern. The original Jelly Roll rug pattern does come in a circle. I wasn't too sure if that was exactly what I wanted, but I did fancy this rectangular one. So I have the instructions on how to do that. I have a jelly roll at home, so yeah, watch this space. I'm gonna have a go at this because I think this would be a lot of fun and hopefully also very practical for my sewing room. So there we go, Jelly Roll Rug. I've got this pattern. Very happy that I was able to pick this up in person rather than buying it online, and also buying it from an independent retailer as well. So those are the things that I picked up from Pacific Fabrics. Quite the haul. Restrained, it could have been a lot worse, but yes, I was very, very happy with those purchases, and especially so because most of those things I know what they're going to turn into. So that leaves me with what I'm going to do today. This is my last full day in Seattle. I do fly out tomorrow, but that's kind of late afternoonish, but today is my day for getting out and about. So I'm going to go back and check out Joann's because I'm tempted to see what's going on there. The Joann's I'm going to is the one in Bellevue. I thought it would be totally fully closed down by the time I got over here. Apparently that's not the case. And even looking into it a bit further, Bellevue I don't think actually has a closing down date. I know a lot of stores have already closed or are flagged to close at the end of May. From what I understand, Bellevue doesn't have a particular date, but by looking at some of the photographs that have been shared online, it does have a closing down sale going on. So who doesn't love a bargain? I am the biggest of bargain hunters, so I thought I might just go check it out because why not? So I'm either going to catch a bus or Uber it over to Bellevue to Joann's like I did last year and go check out what's happening there. Not a wasted journey if there's not much there, because there is a big giant Michael's right next door. It is another big crafty place. Not so much for fabric, however. They are definitely a crafty destination, but there is a small quilting section there, although that might have gotten bigger given what's happening with Joann's. So that's going to be a fun little adventure going to see what's there. I've got nothing else to do. I've got no one else to see. So yep, let's go shopping. So I have my coffee and I'm making my way to the bus stop. I'm wearing casual clothes today, no me maids. I am catching public transport, so I do prefer to blend in a bit when I do that. But yeah, I've been wearing me maids all week. So yeah, it feels a bit weird actually. But yeah, let's get on this bus and get all the way out to Bellevue. So I jumped on the bus to get to Bellevue, which is about a 45-minute trip or so from downtown Seattle. When I arrived at Joann's, I was curious to see how it had changed since my last visit, and oh yes, there were definitely changes. The store was open, but there were quite a few empty shelves, which was not in the least bit surprising. I just hoped that they had some decent fabric left. The fabric section was tucked away in the far corner of the store, and I was relieved to see that there was still a decent selection, but nowhere near as full as it had been 12 months ago. I'd also heard rumours that if you were going to buy fabric, you had to buy the entire bolt, which would have been a deal breaker, but thankfully that wasn't true. There was a 2-yard minimum, but that felt manageable. Now, the shelves were a bit jumbled, but they still had a big range of licensed and themed quilting cottons, plus special occasion fabrics, jerseys, flannels, and fleece. Best of all, everything was at least 50% off, with many items marked down to 60 or even 70%. So yes, I had a good rummage through the shelves, and no surprise, I didn't leave empty-handed. Oh, and I did pop into Michael's whilst I was there, because why not? Michael's is a bit more like Hobbycraft in the UK, catering to every type of craft activity you can think of. This place was neat and tidy and stocked to the rafters. So much more crafty stuff than you'll ever find in the UK, so once again I'm feeling a little bit more jealous that we don't have the equivalent at home. I was really here just to look, but I did buy some of this scrubby yarn and a rubber duck. Good morning, we're back here. It is my last day in Seattle. I am flying out this evening, and yeah, I'm just cruising out that checkout time. I don't have to check out till noon, so I'm just kind of enjoying that quiet time before all the hustle and bustle of having to get off to the airport. I will go for a walk out to the Space Needle shortly, just to get some movement in before I have to sit down non-stop for the next 8-10 hours, whatever. So yep, today we're flying out. Now, yesterday was a grand adventure. I did manage to catch the bus out to where I needed to go, and that was to the Crossroads kind of mall type area, and that is where Joann's was. Now, before I went out there, I did make a comment about whether or not this Bellevue store was closing or not. I can confirm after speaking to the staff there that they are closing the doors on the 31st of May. So they've really got only a few weeks left of operation. What was crazy for me, I've never seen one of these stores shut down, specifically where they were had price labels on the actual racks. You go in there and actually buy the shelving. It was very obvious that this company was going out of business and they were trying to sell out as much as possible. Still had heaps and heaps of stock there though. Now, what was totally heartbreaking was whilst I was standing in the queue to pay, there was an elderly lady next to me who was holding a few balls of wool, and she was just looking around going, where are we gonna go now? This is so sad. So yeah, these big stores that are around us, when they do close down, they do make a big impact on the community. Yes, we can definitely go and find our smaller independent stores, which is fantastic, but they're not always easily available as well, especially for elderly people who may not be so savvy with the internet and so on. So it was very sad to see this like natural reaction come out of people whilst you're just standing in the queue. So yeah, that was that. So what did I buy? Well, here's my big bag. Yeah, it saw a lot of action on the bus yesterday. Not only did I go to Joann's first, I got to stop doing it first. I got to do it last. Well, I can't really do it again, really, will I? But yeah, I went on another bus to another shopping destination, so yeah, this got a bit battered. There was a lot to choose from. Again, an overwhelming experience. I was trying to find some more polar fleece. I did like their polar fleece. There were some really nice ones there, but I was just quite conscious that it was going to be quite bulky and to get it home. And yeah, I decided I didn't get any polar fleece. There was heaps there. I did want some more, but I let it go. I was good. I let it go. So my whole entire mission was really focused around getting some jersey. I did get that really fun kids print for the Palmer PJs for my daughter last time I was there, and I absolutely love that. I was hoping to find something else similar, and you know what? I was not disappointed. Now I do want to make my own adults version of the Palmer PJs as well in slightly more me fabric. So what I ended up finding was this fabric here. So this is a lovely, obviously, cheetah print, leopard print, cheetah print, I think it is. Animal print, let's call it animal print. I don't know, I get confused which one's which. But here is this lovely animal print, and I don't know if you can see, but there is gold glitter on there as well. And this is a really, really lovely soft jersey. Going to be perfect for those specific type of PJs that I've made with the lettuce hem. I saw this and I sat there going, yep, that is definitely coming home with me. So this ended up being $7 US a yard. So I got 4 yards in total of this one. And yeah, this is a really cute, it's going to make some really fun PJs. I'm definitely going to have some left over, but I thought if I buy enough, I will have lots of extra scraps, you know, when you want to just kind of mix and match some colors. So yeah, I've got 4 meters of this animal print glitter knit fabric, and yeah, I'm very happy that I managed to score this one. So the next 2 fabrics I got are actually Christmas themed fabrics. They had a lovely selection there, and I just fell in love with the ones I wanted. And because I have heaps of lovely summery fabrics to sew over the next few months, I thought these can just stay in my stash until it starts getting a little bit cooler. And again, either Christmas jumpers or some PJs. I found this lovely fun jersey as well. These are all these lovely big Christmas lights, like the really big old-fashioned ones. And again, this is a lovely royal blue background and these fun little happy faces here. They were like super cute. So I again have got 4 yards of this one, same price as the other fabric as well. But yeah, this was really fun. This is going to be for me and my daughter to have some pajamas with, or maybe a Christmas jumper or some sort, doing some sort of color theming there. So again, a lovely print here. I'm really happy with this one. And finally, I got another 4 yards. This one is actually, however, not a knit. This is a woven and it's a flannel. I just find that Joann's has a lot of really fun flannels, and I got this one here. It is these bears with this lovely check background. It is very much another Christmas print. You know what? I got this one to make some pajamas for my husband, because I very rarely see fabric which is suitable for men, and my husband loves the pajamas I make him. So I thought, whilst I have the opportunity to have heaps of fabric suitable for men's pajamas, yep, I found this, and I thought we could have some fun pajamas at Christmas time, because pretty much we spend all of Christmas in them. And I just thought, yep, why not? I've got a fabric for myself, I've got a fabric for my daughter, and I've got a fabric for my husband as well. Effectively, that's how I ended up shopping. So everyone's got something I can make in the long run. So yep, this is what we're going to be sewing up at Christmas time. Some lovely pajamas for the family here. And yeah, I said, did I say 4 yards? Yeah, I got 4 yards of this as well. If you were buying fabric, there was a restriction that you had to buy a minimum of 2 yards. And I thought if you have any scraps, you can always end up making more kids shorts or vests or stuff. And for this one here, because it's more of a woven fabric, I'm using this for Christmas craft projects for anything left over. So that's why I thought I'd get a little bit extra whilst I was there. So for me, I was very well contained. I only got 3 fabrics, but I did get 4 yards of each of those. So very happy with that purchase. I now have to figure out how to get that all in my suitcase without having to pay excess baggage. I faced this problem last year and I failed. So yeah, fingers crossed I've been a little bit more lenient this time. I didn't go too crazy. Definitely glad I didn't buy any polar fleece, because that would have been a mess. But I think I'm gonna be okay. So now I'm just gonna pack up everything, get ready to go home. I'm very much looking forward to getting back to the UK. As much as it's nice to get away, it's even better going home. So I'm looking forward to my flight tonight. So I hope you've enjoyed watching my little trip to Seattle for this year and what goodies I've ended up taking home with me. Let me know down in the comments which is your favorite that I've ended up picking up, as well as any pattern ideas for some of those fabrics. I love hearing alternative suggestions to what I've got in my head. Of course, if you have enjoyed this video, then do go give me a thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, do go and click on that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future Ripper Seams videos and what I end up making out of some of those fabrics. So thank you so much for joining me today. I wish you a wonderful week of sewing, and I'll see you in the next video.